Hey, Star Wars fans, David Collins here with the Comlink. We are live at the 501st Imperial Bash at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim. And of course, sitting to my right is the one and only Sam Witwer. Sam, you and I have had, this is Sam Witwer. Yeah, give it up for Sam Witwer!
You know what's funny?
They are clapping.
This is really one of the rare opportunities we have to sit down and just like talk, because we're buddies, but we haven't had a chance to catch up in a while.
That's right.
So this is it. We're doing a live catch-up.
That's right. And when we do it, we always do this at a party.
We're talking about Star Wars.
With 300 people.
That's right.
We always talk about Star Wars. Yes. Yeah, so we finally get to catch up. There's been a lot of Star Wars news, a lot of stuff going on. Let's, of course, start out with first impressions of the trailer. You did a video.
Yeah,
about
the
first
trailer.
Impressions.
Like you see, the trailer was interesting because you see Superman's costume, and then you see Batman's costume.
Right.
And I thought that was really cool. Like, you know, and it really got me excited for the movie. Like,
trailer.
What's Batman?
No. I'm talking about the trailer for Marley and Me 3.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I missed
Star
that
Wars:
one.
The Force Awakens. There was a trailer for it.
There was?
Did you miss this? It was amazing. Captain Kirk came down.
Yeah. Chris
spoke
Pine
with Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's
Andrew
gonna be
Garfield.
so cool.
Or I might have dreamt that.
Is that the 5th Doctor or the 6th Doctor?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there was a TARDIS in there somewhere.
Yeah, the TARDIS that Bill and Ted take for their excellent adventure through
exactly.
history.
And they pick up Socrates so that they can graduate high school and not go to military school. I loved it. I don't know about you.
I hated it.
Right, but I did like the Force Awakens trailer.
Oh, the trailer for Star Wars was awesome.
That was really good.
That was really good.
We should have talked about that first.
Yeah, no, we should have. I mean, we're at a Star Wars celebration. Why would we talk about anything else?
I don't know. I just, because there were all these Doctor Who fans here, I thought we should.
By the way, speaking of the Superman-Batman thing, here's.
I haven't seen it, by the way.
I'm Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's. You know how they're doing that Star Wars trailer? Let's drop our trailer right before it. Just wipe them out. Let's do it.
How'd that go?
Not good. Not good.
I was dying to see the Batman trailer, but I hadn't gotten to it because I'm so busy here at Star Wars Celebration. There's so much Star Wars stuff going on.
Yeah.
The trailer was everything I hoped for.
Yeah.
When I saw that down Star Destroyer.
Yes.
And then it goes into Luke's VO, which is from Return of the Jedi.
So
like 100% lifted from
So
Return
that had
of the
to
Jedi.
be Luke with the mechanical hand petting
It had
R2-D2?
to be. It had to be. And I'm assuming that that's Vader's
Mask.
helmet taken from the funeral
Endor.
pyre. From Endor.
Or I think it's taken from Steve Sansweet's collection.
It was probably taken from Steve. You're right.
Steve has that burn.
There was a barn fire.
Yeah.
And not a bonfire, but a barn fire.
A barn fire.
Yes.
Where he went in to rescue from Steve. Yeah, Rancho Obi-Wan is a location in the film.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. But it's spelled Renchu.
Renchu.
Yeah, Renchu.
They go to Renchu.
They go to Renchu Obi-Wan. No,
Right.
but okay, so you've got that. And then, of course, he hands a saber hilt. That's got to be Vader's, Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber.
That is absolutely Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber.
Because
but that
it's
was lost at Bespin. So I was almost expecting her to hand over a lightsaber with a skeletal hand gripping.
With a hand on it, exactly. Yeah.
This was, let me clean that off.
Sorry, it's a little decayed.
You could probably just burn it off or just peel it off over time.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
No, but that was Vader's saber. That was when his hand got cut off on the second Death Star.
That was the same lightsaber that Luke Skywalker did all kinds of noble deeds, and that Anakin killed all kinds of children, and it's the same saber.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Child-killing, hero-making saber.
Well, that's got to be an interesting story.
Very, that. How did they do that?
I don't know.
There was some
cleaning crew.
There was some. The janitor.
It's Wilro Hood
The
Inc.
janitor has a mop, and he's like, hey.
Yes. He's like, well, I put the ice cream maker down when I found this decapitated hand.
There's a
wait, no, decapitated.
with a flashlight or something.
It's some sort of flashlight. I don't know.
Yeah. Someone missing this?
Yeah, somebody missing this flashlight.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey, a big glowy blue thing comes out.
Right. So somehow they recovered that lightsaber.
They recovered the lightsaber.
Which they did in the Thrawn books as well.
Yes, but that was different because they recovered the lightsaber and then they turned it into a clone of Luke.
Right. They turned
it's
the
a
hand
clone of
into a
Luke
clone.
based on Luke's hand.
Right. But I still felt like, when I read the Thrawn books, here's a funny thing. Here's me painting myself into a Star Wars corner because when I read the Thrawn books when I was younger, I was like 12. And I'm like, how did they get Luke's hand? It fell through the gas giant. Oh, yeah, whatever. And then 2015, it's Luke's lightsaber. I'm like, well, this is, that's cool. That's cool.
9 out of 10 JJs agree with Timothy
That's right.
Zahn.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Yes. No. Exactly. So that was kind of an interesting one.
Yeah.
I thought that Rey's costume was amazing.
Yeah.
And I thought that the
stormtroopers
looked cool. The Falcon, and then Harrison Ford. Forget about it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The
Chewie was there with his bowcaster.
It was great.
They were pointing guns at someone.
At the Falcon cockpit. Probably at the Falcon
They were
herself.
shooting at the
Yeah,
Falcon.
just disabling the autopilot with a crossbow.
Speaking of the Falcon, here's a question I have about the Millennium Falcon. Maybe someone can answer it for me. In A New Hope, the two stormtroopers go up the ramp and you hear bam, bam. Did they ever clean up? Or does
Secret compartment.
Yeah.
It's in the secret compartment.
What do we got?
This is a great one. We got to talk about this. So this looked like it says Ulrich. Is this Ulrich? What was Sam's reaction when John Boyega mentioned Force Unleashed 1 and 2?
No, okay, so
I cried a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
I have not seen the panel yet.
Oh, okay. All right. So you didn't see the panel, but you saw the trailer because you were busy.
I saw the trailer.
You were working.
Yeah.
So John Boyega comes on stage and goes, how's everybody? He goes, I love Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a huge gamer. The video games. Come on, you guys. Whole place cheers. And he goes, he doesn't mention any games but except for 2. He goes, come on, the video games on my PS3. I'm constantly playing them. Force Unleashed, the original, and Force Unleashed 2. And everyone cheered. He called out Force Unleashed 1 and 2. Bob Iger's in the audience.
This is my reaction right here. This is my reaction.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I got a lot of.
I'm not unhappy about that.
Yes, I was not unhappy.
I'm not unhappy about that.
John Boyega plays.
Just
Force Unleashed.
That's what she's doing. Yeah.
I see.
If you could see what I see, we just got Chloe Dykstra and Jen.
You know I'm here, right?
Full on booty dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is going. Yeah. Now they're.
We were talking about Star Wars. Now
we're being sexually
I don't
harassed.
remember my name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So Force Unleashed. Force Unleashed 1 and 2. John Boyega.
I'm happy about. That's great news.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was
awesome.
fantastic, and
he's a good kid.
It's a good kid. He's a good kid, Boyega.
I already can
he's
tell
got a bright
that kid's
future.
Gonna go far.
Yeah, he's got a real bright future there. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. That's awesome.
So here's one for you. I had an interesting thing happen yesterday, and I wanted to get your take on this. So I had Return of the Jedi producer Howard Kazanjian yesterday.
Wow.
On my stage. Did anybody see the Howard Kazanjian panel yesterday? Anybody? Okay, a couple of you saw that. Someone in the crowd asked him about David Lynch. I told you a little bit about this.
You told me the story, and tell the story again.
I'm going to tell the story again for all you watching on home on the Comlink. So, David Lynch, you may or may not know, was at one point tapped to be the director of Return of the Jedi.
That is true.
Because George Lucas had left the Directors Guild, and they needed a non-DGA director to direct Return of the Jedi. And so the short list had David Lynch. They talked to David Lynch. No one knows why David Lynch turned it down, but he did. The making of Return of the Jedi was very vague.
Big movie, and David Lynch turned it down.
David Lynch turned it down. So someone asked him why. And Howard Kazanjian right there goes, well, we didn't fire him, I'll tell you that. And he just said, well, then what happened? And you could tell that Howard wanted to say something. Finally, he goes, all right, I'm going to tell you what happened, and I've never said this before. David Lynch, we offered him the job, and then the next day he said he's not going to do it because he didn't want to work with our crew.
What crew are you talking about?
Specifically, David Lynch did not want to work with Oscar winner John Williams and Oscar winner Ben Burt on Return of the Jedi. And Lucasfilm was like, well, you have to work with them. That's a huge part of Star Wars. I'm assuming. I mean, that's implied. But anyway, the next day he walked away.
Which implies that he wanted the movie to sound entirely different. He wanted the sonic spectrum of that movie to be different. I think he probably wanted like
Return of Blue Velvet.
In Tangerine Dream.
Yes.
To create an electronic soundtrack.
Yes.
With very electronic sounding laser guns.
Yes.
What was he planning?
And big blocky shields when they sword fight.
And you pointed out that Raiders of the Lost Ark had just come out with both John Williams and Ben Burt working on it.
And Howard Kazanjian was a producer on that.
Yes.
Right? So you had at that point, Star Wars, Empire, and Raiders, and 3 of the top 10 grossing films of all time, all of which had Ben Burt and John Williams.
But you know what, though? Dune.
Dune or Doom?
Dune.
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 Yes, he went and did Dune.
Yes,
That's
he
right.
did.
Well,
I mean, by the way, like nothing. David Lynch is an extremely talented man.
Absolutely.
We're poking fun just because
we're at a Star Wars convention.
Like, look. Let's just be honest. Howard Kazanjian threw him under the bus. Now there's a feud between Ben Burt, John Williams on one side, David Lynch on the other, and we're torn in the middle. How could they do this to us?
Trapped as fans.
That's right.
Of a younger generation from something that happened 3 years ago.
Before some of us were even sentient.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But it's an interesting story. That was an interesting one. Another interesting one that came out today is that I had Ian McDiarmid. Did anybody go see the Revenge of the Sith in 3D? Anybody see episode 3 in 3D?
I really wanted to see it.
No. Well, episode 3 in 3D was on the digital stage tonight. It was packed. I had Ian McDiarmid and Dennis Muren there. Dennis was there to talk about the 3D conversion. Ian McDiarmid was there to talk about being the Emperor because amazing. And so what was interesting is Dennis Muren earlier in the day said to me, he goes, I'm looking forward to tonight because I've never met Ian McDiarmid.
He was too busy stalking Harrison Ford on an airplane.
Right.
Yeah. Here, I'll do the music. Dun 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 da da. Yeah, da 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 da.
Dennis Muren impression, everybody. Dennis Muren from Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, so he had never met him, and so they finally met for the first time, and it was great to see that happen. I took a picture of the two of them talking. I couldn't help myself.
You know what Ian McDiarmid looks like without Dennis Muren?
The Emperor?
He goes, I guess he goes, and nothing happens. He
That's
looks
right.
like an idiot.
That's right. Without Dennis Muren and ILM to basically make him, he's just sitting there going, no,
yeah.
Nope.
You will die.
Nope. Cut.
Cut.
Okay, cut.
And Dennis is like, I'm sorry, I don't know this guy. I'm not giving him
Ian,
lightning.
we hired you for the lightning. Where's the lightning?
And Dennis is like, I'm not giving it to him. I don't know him.
No, because I don't know that guy.
I can't vouch for him. Can't give him the lightning.
That's right. That's right. But it's been an incredible. Oh, I know what we need to talk about.
Yes. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. No, I want to talk about Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Sam, you're a huge video gamer.
Yes.
Huge gamer.
Giant. Like I'm 6'1". Huge gamer.
Very big. Very large. No, but something that's actually how you and I met is that I was working at LucasArts. And
I was like, you're working at LucasArts?
And I was like, you went to Juilliard with my friend. So it was like we just kind of met and kind of bonded over LucasArts and Star Wars. And so Star Wars Battlefront, you played both of those games.
Oh, yes, a lot.
A lot.
In fact, the guy that you grew up with, who I was friends with first, a guy named Patrick Hallahan, who you were best friends growing up. Me and him were best friends in college. And then when you and I met, we were best friends immediately by proxy, right? And then you played proxy, and then you see how that works. And so
Master.
He it's awesome. He still got it, ladies and gentlemen.
Still got it.
Proxy. So Patrick.
Oh God, here he comes.
You guys are insane. Is everybody loving David Collins on the digital stage? And what about Sam Witwer just being a total nut on the Feud of the Force? Come on. You guys are great.
We gave you 2 microphones because James Arnold Taylor, ladies and gentlemen.
Looking for that. You guys are great. The Comlink is awesome. I really want to thank you, Sam, for coming out and supporting us, always being there for us on the show. And David, you're doing a tremendous job.
And tomorrow, all 3 of us are on a panel together.
Yes. It's the Smuggler's Bounty. Kyle Newman's radio drama. Are we excited?
Tomorrow on the main stage, on James's stage, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, an audio drama adventure featuring James Arnold Taylor, Sam Witwer, and yours truly.
Wait, who's playing Han Solo?
I believe that Han Solo is being played by Abe Vigoda.
Dave Filoni's playing Han Solo. Yeah. So that was who was that guy?
I don't know who that was.
Yeah.
I think David Spade just came up here.
I
and just
acted
bombed the
like I
show.
knew what was going on, and I had no idea what was going on.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But
James Arnold Taylor.
Just speaking of Star Wars Battlefront, James Arnold Taylor was Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Battlefront
which
2.
I played the hell out of. So our friend
So
Patrick
back to Patrick.
Callahan,
Yeah.
we played the hell out of Battlefront 1 and 2 like all the time. We were always playing that game. He'd come over, we'd play it for hours. Both those games.
Were you in Battlefront 2? I can't remember. I don't think you were.
I was in Battlefront, the PSP game. I was Palpatine.
Oh, it's the Emperor. That's right.
Palpatine.
You were Palpatine in that. I think I was the battle droids in Battlefront
you?
2, and I was the briefings officer in the tutorial
No way,
of Battlefront 1.
Really?
Yeah, and then so
How did I miss that? I played the damn game.
I don't know. Well, I did all the voice on Battlefront 2, but Battlefront 1 was like I just got brought in at the last minute, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's great," and they shipped it.
Amazing.
This is how these things happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, this morning I had a huge panel with EA Dice
Right.
for Star Wars Battlefront. Did any of you see the Star Wars Battlefront panel? Tell me, did that look amazing or what?
Pretty cool, right?
I
Yeah.
got to tell you, you haven't seen the trailer yet.
Oh, I saw all of it.
You did see the trailer.
Oh, I
Okay,
saw the
what did you
presentation.
think?
I saw the trailer. Well, I got to be honest. I found the presentation was longer, obviously, but the presentation was more impressive because you could see that it was someone playing the game. Like the trailer it's the same thing. It's in engine, right? So the trailer that everyone sees online is in engine. It looks beautiful, it looks amazing. But it's not the same impact as realizing, no, this is actually in game because you watched someone play it and it looked exactly the same.
Yeah, it's all
Right?
It's all in-engine footage and in-engine
'Cause
assets.
It looks pre-rendered. You're like, that
It looks
can't
pre-rendered.
Be, it can't be in engine.
Yeah, and to be clear, they're doing camera angles and things that are very cinematic.
Yeah.
Right. They're doing things to make it a great trailer, but the assets are all from the Frostbite engine.
Yes.
And that's
looks
EA Dice's
tremendous.
pedigree. Well, when we did Battlefront 1 and 2,
Yeah.
people have to realize, Pandemic Studios had built that tech over multiple. How many minutes we got, JC? We're doing all right? Okay. Oh, excellent. All right, well, we're not leaving, so.
Wait, did you say Dave
they
Filoni's
just have
going
to
to be
join.
here?
No, I'm kidding. So we were just told that we've got a bunch of great guests coming up, but let me just finish this thought about
Dave
Battlefront.
Filoni, my old
Is
master.
he here? Felonious Monk, is he here? Oh, Dave Filoni's in the house.
I felt the presence
So if everyone
of
can
my
help
old-
us pester him to come up here, that would be amazing.
I sense something, a presence I've not felt
Since about 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah.
We did the
I
Bad
felt
Batch.
that.
But
Yeah.
Battlefront. So Battlefront, I don't remember. So it takes years for these companies to do this kind of tech. EA Dice, with their Battlefield series, they've been doing it for years. They've got the pedigree, they've got the technology, they've got the tools and talent and the passion to do this. You know how hard it is to pull off a sandbox type of game that's that authentic,
Really
that runs
hard.
that smoothly.
Well, the other thing is that with every iteration of the game tech, in terms of next-gen consoles, every time a next-gen console comes out, the fidelity of everything goes way up. So the amount of work needed to create any single asset goes way up, as
That's right.
you know, right?
That's right. Yeah,
when
yeah.
You're
More
developing
detail.
for, say, the Xbox, well, you're going to need a team this big because the Xbox can do this much. Then the Xbox 360 comes out, and it can do this much, and it can look this good, so you need a team this big. Well, we're now here, and the amount of work to make it look like that, what people expect for a next-gen console.
Tremendous.
Huge amount of
Yeah,
work.
tremendous. But this is the first game we've seen from EA, first Star Wars game that we've seen as part of this big contract, and I was just blown away. Just
Yeah.
blown away. I'm really, really excited for everyone
Really
to play
impressive.
it. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. Of course, we got Rebel Season 2 coming up tomorrow.
Rebel Season 2 is coming up
Season
tomorrow.
2
I'll
premiere
be there.
tomorrow on the digital stage.
Yes.
We had the Bad Batch screening today from the Clone Wars.
How was that?
It was amazing. It was 4 episodes that were sort of proxy animation. They kept saying proxy animation, and I kept freaking out. I was like, Master. Yeah, but yeah, no, they just mean it wasn't done, but it was still so compelling. And you know what?
Well, the funny thing about the Bad Batch, and I want to call out something that you worked on. I don't know if everyone knows this, but Republic Commando, the idea of what the Republic Commando units were, those squads of 4, was they were Bad Batches. You remember
Yes,
that?
absolutely.
They were aberrations in the cloning program this guy was a little too aggressive. This guy was a little too studious. This was a little too this.
We touched on that a
And
little bit.
And that's what the clone commando units were. And now, I don't know if that made it into the Clone Wars, but the video game, that was the background. So the Bad Batch is an idea that
It's the same idea. It was George's same idea, because when we were doing Republic Commando, George was like, they're all the same. And we're like, well, they're clones.
That's right.
But he had to give us permission to then say, you should make them all very different.
Well, George saw
do the
game.
funny one.
I
Do the
remember
ugly
you
one.
calling me up. I was shooting Battlestar Galactica, and you called me up and you said, I'm kind of horrified. I'm like, why is that? He's like, because we've voiced the entire game.
And now we have to do it over.
And now we have to revoice the game because George saw it, and he says he doesn't like it. He says all the clones sound too similar. And I said, well, wait, but you got different actors for each clone, each doing a Tamora Morrison voice. And George's like, no, they're too similar. So then George says, get totally different actors with totally different vocal ranges, and make a funny guy, make a this guy, make an aggressive guy. And then from there grew out this idea that these were aberrant clones, that these are clones that strayed from the genetic norm.
And the Kaminoans didn't like this.
The Kaminoans thought they were failures.
Yeah.
The trainers said, no, we need these guys.
Yes.
And then they made the clone commando units.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see those ideas. And he even had a lot of the armor from the Bad Batch was a lot of Republic Commando armor. The backpacks, one of them's got a DC-17.
No way.
Totally unaltered. DC-17 straight from Republic Commando. It's really cool.
Can we
one of them
can we
looks
uncancel
like,
the show?
Yeah.
For
Seriously.
just a second?
Just a second.
Just to
one of
finish
them,
up.
by the way, you'd be interested in, has this elongated mask with like a line down the middle that to me looked like evil Starkiller's mask. I said that to Dave, but he didn't quite pick up on it. I still think that Amy Beth Christensen probably got that in there.
Amy Beth Christensen is a designer.
That's my guess, but I don't know.
She's a designer for Clone Wars. She's a designer for Rebels, and and she slips a lot of stuff in there. That.
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Hold on for just a second. Hi, come here. Get over here. Who are you?
I am Chloe. Who are you?
I'm Sam.
Sam.
This is David.
Hi, nice to meet you again. Yes.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah.
What are you guys filming?
Talking about Star Trek.
We're not filming. We're just hanging out with microphones and cameras.
Yeah, we're hanging out.
Cool.
Awesome.
Do you like Star Wars?
No, I'm a Star Trek guy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. It's cool. I'm just gonna go.
I'm a Star Wars guy.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's hang out. What's going on? Hey.
Chloe Dykstra.
Chloe Dykstra.
Sam Witwer.
Hey, here's something. I haven't had a chance to talk to her about this. Chloe Dykstra, you just saw a lot of Star Wars in the past 2 weeks.
Are you calling me out right
I'm
now?
calling you out right now. You are now an expert. For example, I say to her, like, hey, Plo Koon, what's his race? And she goes, like, Caldor. And I'm like, whoa, you're learning. This is crazy.
You could have just asked me that. I would have gotten that one right.
I didn't want to put you on the spot. I didn't want to risk it.
I would have sweat that one actually a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even know the Caldor thing. I acted like everyone knew it, but I didn't know. Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What is your? Let's figure out what she thinks about this stuff.
What do you think about all the crazy things that you've seen? For example, you just saw episode 3 again recently, right?
I did. Yes.
What'd you think?
I mean, I enjoyed the prequels. I did. I always get confused about all the numbers. I will say that. I'm still learning about the numbers of the films and the names. There's
Revenge
too
of the
many things
Sith.
to remember.
Yeah, there's so much.
But I'm enjoying myself so far, for sure.
Good. You have a good time at Celebration?
Yes.
And you've been hosting. You've been running around like crazy with
my
microphone.
God. It's been crazy. There's
Like crazy.
so much cosplay.
You've been working with Game Over Greggy, is that right?
Yes.
Greg
yeah.
Miller?
Yeah, I checked
Love
out
Greg Miller.
Battlefront, which looks really good.
You checked out Battlefront.
Yes.
You did. Did you see the panel this morning?
I didn't get a chance to.
You went to the booth.
Yes.
Oh,
I went
cool,
to the booth,
cool.
and we flew X-wings.
We flew X-wings.
I flew an X-Wing as well. I was not as good of a shot, I'm sure, as you two were.
No, it's terrible. My helmet was way too big, and then it just completely came down.
And the visor's like up here.
Yeah.
And I just panicked. I couldn't handle the stress.
We totally should have just been like, and they're like, ah!
We have to put these videos up on the Comlink, but I think we're running out of time.
Yeah.
At least for now. We're going to switch it up a little bit, right? They're nodding like, get off the stage. Here's the thing. We talk like this almost every day.
This is like a phone call between me and him.
Yeah, we'll be back. This is Sam Witwer, ladies and gentlemen. Give Sam
David
Witwer
Collins.
round of ham.
Chloe
I said
Dykstra.
round of ham. A round of hand. Chloe Dykstra. I'm David Collins, and we'll be back very, very shortly with more here at the 501st Bash. Stay tuned to the Comlink. We'll be right back.